I was in the middle of making this massive Witcher video when, by accident, I stumbled upon a couple of details that I wasn't aware of. So now, I have an excuse to take a break and make a smaller video about one of my favorite quests in the whole game. It's the Tower Full of Mice on Fyke Isle. And when I say it's one of my favorite quests, I'm not just doing it for, marketing. I really mean it. On my very first playthrough, I did it in very close proximity to the one with the botchling and the Bloody Baron. And I think it was the combination of these two quests that truly made me fall in love with the game. I love how, despite being short and confined to a single tower, there is so much depth and emotion in it, and stuff that sticks with you even years later. On one hand, we can breeze through the quest, get deceived into releasing Anabelle's evil spirit, allowing it to kill Graham, and be free to spread its corruption, for which Keira Metz makes fun of us.
Thing is, turned out she's a Pesta. Graham's dead.
And you failed to notice? You're losing your touch. I'm almost inclined to say good work.
And even years later, in the next-gen edition, the Red Miasmal once again reminds us of our past mistakes.
Give up, Wolf. This is what you want. Won't be the first scourge you release upon the world. You served a plague maiden already. Why stop there?
But on the other hand, we can take our time and piece together all of the horrible and tragic events that took place here. We learn how the mage Alexander experimented not just on rats, but on the local people too, and that Keira Metz likely knew of this, but did not really care. Well, except for getting her hands on his research. She even tried seducing him, but did not succeed. We also find how Graham's friends took advantage of his relationship with Anabelle just to have their bloody vengeance on the residents of the tower, how in doing so they became no better than the mage himself, and how all of this led to Anabelle getting eaten alive by the infected rats, and ultimately became the embodiment of all the horrors that led to her death. While Graham could not see a way to move on other than taking his own life at Anabelle's altar in his isolated hut, his only alternatives being either to become the first victim of the Pesta or to once again sacrifice his life to lift the curse. Either way, there is no happy ending, no justice for either of them. Keira Metz kind of makes fun of that too.
Oh, poor boy. Still, he's proved that true love may be more common than some suppose.
And that's it. But it sticks with us, even years later. And I realize I haven't told you what the details are yet, the ones I found by accident, so here we go. Did you know that there is a way to get the better ending, where Anabelle is laid to rest, without doing any investigation whatsoever? The option to say that you don't trust her is only available after you've learned enough, but even if you haven't, you can still tell her to wait a bit so you can look around some more. And if you do that, you can already sense that she's getting nervous.
Whatever for? Not in the tower, but bones and rats. Don't leave me with them again.
I'll come back for you, you can be sure.
Very well, but come back soon. Don't keep me waiting.
Turns out there is a way to let her expose herself, and that is by trying to leave the tower before talking to her again. If you do that, she locks the door in front of you and attacks you from behind in her true form.
What's with the door?
You wish to leave, as Graham did.
What do you want?
No more lies, no more deceit. You will stay here for all time. You will never leave.
Apparently she never planned on letting you leave alive, unless it was to take her bones away from the island. She will once again fight you outside, and the quest continues as though you've exposed her personally.
You cannot kill me. You know this.
What was that? It sounded for a moment like you joined the wraiths yourself.
Had to fight a Pesta.
Another tiny detail I found while trying to reenact a scene for that large video I mentioned is about all of the fire that burns inside the tower. While the curse is active, all of the torches and candles cannot be extinguished. They all burn with this greenish tint, and when you try snapping your fingers at them or hitting them with the art sign, they shrink for a moment as though they're about to fade, but then they rise back up again. However, once the curse has been lifted, the flames revert back to their natural yellowish red color and can be extinguished. It's almost as if the tower itself could not be at peace while the curse is active, but once it's lifted, you can finally lay it to rest. And I suppose there is one more thing that I haven't mentioned. I thought it too insignificant before, but while we're on the topic, have you noticed how the mage Alexander refers to Keira Metz in his notes? He calls her the woman, with capital T and W. I thought it's curious because, when you think about it, Keira Metz does like to bring attention to her femininity. It is immediately apparent from the way she dresses, quite revealing around the feminine bits, but she also brings it up on several occasions during dialogue. For example, she can tell Geralt that he understands the way women think and knows what women want, referring to herself in both cases.
Seems I find it hard to refuse you, handsome. You've clearly a notion of what women want, how they think.
She can also mention her feminine intuition on a couple of occasions.
This Xenovox, can I contact you with it or is it one way?
One way only, I'm afraid. You'll have to trust my feminine intuition.
Your what?
My feminine intuition!
Wonderful.
Later, if you take Keira to Kaer Morhen, during the scene where she beautifies herself before the battle, she can say that sometimes a woman has the right not to explain her actions, or something along those lines. Let me know if you've noticed such a theme.
What made you change your mind?
There are times when a woman should simply not explain her decision.
And of course there are other interesting things about this quest, like the disappearing statue of Militile in the tower, or is it a statue of one of the crones, or both, or the peculiar female shadow in the middle of the lake outside. But I don't wish to repeat myself. I might leave links to these videos in the description, and for now, I believe we're done. I should get back to that large video I mentioned. I currently have over 2 hours of audio and nearly 200 small videos that I need to put together for it, and I still need another maybe 40 or 50 pieces of video footage, but pretty much all of it is already planned out in my mind. So yes, I believe that's all I wanted to say for now. Do tell me what you think about the details I mentioned, and perhaps the entire quest in general. I thank you very much for watching. Special thanks to my supporters and YouTube members, those of you who are still here, despite the fact that I hardly produce anything these days. I do appreciate it. Alright, until the next video, stay tuned and be good.